What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and we're doing another rebuild on Madden 22. This time it is a realistic style rebuild of the Green Bay Packers, and no, I didn't do this because Sammy Watkins was signed. I was planning on doing this, and I was like, you know what? Maybe it's time to do it anyways since Sammy is signed. I don't imagine any other moves outside of the draft you're going to see of the Packers. Now, there could be a rebuild after the draft if Green Bay goes crazy or if they go really dumb and just draft a position that doesn't make sense. Like if they end up going like Kenneth Walker in the first round or something weird, maybe we'll do another one of them. But this is kind of like the only opportunity I see until next Madden that we're probably going to do a rebuild for them. But obviously we did a speed rebuild of this team recently enough, but a speed rebuild is completely different than a realistic style rebuild or just a rebuild in general. So I decided I wanted to do this. Sammy Watkins, once again, it's not the biggest sign in the world, but considering I think the max is like $4 million on that, which I would imagine comes with a lot of playing incentives, if he sees that money, it's a good signing. No matter what, this is a really good signing for Green Bay. You got to remember, Sammy Watkins isn't a bad receiver. He's an unhealthy receiver. He's a guy that's kind of injury prone, but he knows some things. He's been around the block. You have guys like Randall Cobb and Sammy Watkins in the receiver room teaching some of these guys that are going to be likely on the team, you know, coming off the draft. You got to imagine probably 2 wide receivers in the first 3 rounds is likely. That value is also immense in general. I almost feel like Randall Cobb at this rate is probably going to be a future wide receivers coach for Green Bay. It just seems like it's fitting. It's going to happen at some point. But overall, it's an okay move. It's cheap. It's maybe not the signing that a lot of fans wanted to see, but I will admit, you look at the current wide receiver market, you're seeing guys like Jarvis Landry potentially asking for 20 plus from what I've heard. And, you know, guys like Odell, maybe 15-ish. Julio could be 15-ish. A lot of guys that are injury prone but aren't going to be only paid $4 million. Sammy Watkins' face is just, did they expect me to do what? That's what his face looks like. I'm wide receiver 1 now? Of course, Lazard is basically the number 1 around here with Cobb as number 3. Of course, for the offensive line, I put Ellen Jenkins at right tackle. We'll see what happens in the draft. There's a lot of things that are, you know, kind of lining up that Green Bay may take tackle in the first round. But you got to remember, Ellen Jenkins is really good at tackle. If you have an already good established lineman, why would you want him next to David Bakhtiari when you could put him on the other side where he seems comfortable enough and, you know, solidify the tackle spots? I think it makes sense. As Myers, he looked pretty decent for a while. Runyon was looking pretty good. I mean, they got some pretty good value on their offensive line. You could almost argue that they don't even need anyone technically. You just got to stay healthy, but that's a big problem in the NFL. So I would definitely draft someone in the first or second round. Got a lot of picks in that first 60. Tanyan came back on a 1 year, I think $4 million. Once again, nothing's really guaranteed. A lot of these contracts are like a fourth of it's guaranteed on like the 1 year deal. Devondre, his is like 2 years or 2 or 3 years from now. He's going to be clear if you wanted to get rid of him. Preston, same kind of situation. But a lot of upfront money right now. You know, the money looks tough. You couldn't just like remove these guys. I'm saying that because obviously if we were trying to, you know, move on from some of the guys that are maybe not Madden friendly, like Preston or potentially Devondre or Douglas, can't really do that. They also added Jaron Reed, who's, I mean, he hasn't played the greatest lately, but he's, you know, solid depth, I suppose. Rashawn Gary, pretty damn good player as of last season at least, really came on strong. But let's go into the offseason. Go into the draft and see where things line up for us, see if we maybe make a trade up, see maybe down the line how realistic this actually is, see how close we came to real life. This is a signing in real life that I think Green Bay has to do. I think you have to do a 5th-year option on Rashawn Gary based on, I mean, we'd have to take a look at how 2022 turns out, but my man's is a solid-looking talent that you just want one more season to make sure about. Darnell Savage, I think, is a tough one. I think you can get him back for about 7 per, so I don't think a 5-year option's in the works for this. And then Jair is not on the list. Did he already get a 5th-year option? Why was I thinking of Jair and Savage in the same draft? I think it's because it's tied to the Mac trade, or the potential Mac trade. I'm pretty sure if you looked at what Mac went for to the Bears, it would have cost Green Bay Jair and Savage. Or was it just Savage and Rashawn and then Amos? I can't remember. Something about Khalil Mack, though. It's his fault. It's his fault that I messed up. And speaking of faults, I blame Green Bay. They're at fault for making my happiness go away with Davante Adams no longer being a Packer. But you know what? Damn it. You can make me feel better by leaving a like and subscribing. Maybe checking out the second channel, PKR Plays. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, where I tweet like once a week. But if you guys like tweeting me stuff that wasn't like complete, like, degeneracy, maybe I'd be like, hey, let's respond to that. But I don't have anyone, send me something, all right? And I can react to it. I don't freaking know, but let's, I suppose, kind of just get into the draft. There might be some, kind of lower tier signings that Green Bay makes in real life, but I'm not going to speculate, and I'm not going to spend money because we don't have a whole lot of it. But I will say all the adjustments I made for real life, I think it's pretty accurate. I think we're down to like 19 mil cap space. I think that's probably where Green Bay is right now, not paying Davante and all that, and some of the signings they did make into Devondre and Rasul and whatnot. Once again, depending on how Rodgers plays, if he actually balances it out a little more, if they actually get a couple of guys that are decent route runners, the Davante move might not be the worst thing of all time. When you think of DeAndre Hopkins, that was an awful dumb trade from Houston. There's no winning that at all. Green Bay, in the long run, maybe does win. All they have to do is draft one decent wide receiver, that's even like let's say an 88 overall in Madden for years to come, and they kind of win the trade, all things considered. So, I mean, there's a chance to win it, and we're going to try to be on that side here today. All right, so we have pick 22. I don't know how accurate this draft class is. I'm trying to look. The Giants have pick 3 instead of pick 4. And things are messed up a little bit, but it is what it is. The Giants are going to be moving up a little bit higher. This should be Aiden Hutchinson. It is. The Giants end up taking Evan Neal. That still may happen, though, in fairness. Houston maybe with a trade down. A lot of rumors that the Saints are, gearing up to potentially trade up, and I think that would be just so smart for teams like the Texans and Jags to do, maybe even the Jets. Kind of depends on who wants to go. Desmond Ridder. Did I not have Malik Willis as the number 1 quarterback? Also, once again, the Jets again. Malik goes to the Panthers. I just don't understand why the game does that. Walker to the Giants, which seems to be a steal with the latest mocks. The Broncos at 8. Okay. Interesting. Obviously, I didn't make all the trades. I already put so much work into making sure teams had the right contracts for their new guys and make sure a lot of the trades were in order. I made sure the Eagles and Saints trades were accurate, though. The reason why I made sure of that is the fact that I think those two teams play a huge factor in what Green Bay gets. Garrett Wilson all the way to 14. The Browns would be ecstatic. Although the Browns don't have that pick anymore. Never mind. The Seahawks would be ecstatic. I mean, I don't even know. But I just don't think there's a chance. In my opinion, Chris Olave may already be a Saint. In my personal opinion. Once again, they could be trading up for a quarterback. I'm not sure what they think. Personally, you got Winston and Dalton. I don't think you do. I think you hold off on a quarterback this year. I think he's just automatically a Saint. I really want Treylon Burks, though, but I would settle for Olave, even though I think Burks is a better fit for what Green Bay needs. I just think if you're Green Bay, like Philadelphia could use wide receiver too. Stingley is, I just think the Saints absolutely take wide receiver. As Olave goes there. The Steelers, the Patriots absolutely could get somebody. The Eagles, I feel like, would probably utilize Treylon a little bit better, but I think Green Bay, if they really are in on a wide receiver, which they should be, has to make a trade up. And Philadelphia, who also may and should be in on wide receiver, may be asking for more, knowing that this is a wide receiver pick. And with that being said, I'm going to kind of calculate what value this actually would be. I'm going to give them a late 4th in value with this 3rd round pick. It's saying that we're like 40, 50 points above, which is about a late 4th. So I'm going to be trading 22 and 92 for pick 19. And now, once again, in real life, the chances of Green Bay moving up this low, like this short amount of picks, isn't super great. I think if Green Bay really is going to trade up, it's probably going to be, somewhere a bit higher. But Treylon Burks at 19, that's not far off of the realm of reality of where he could go. There's obviously weight concerns and also just concerns of whoever is going to get him. Will they be able to use him correctly? And personally, I just think Treylon Burks, a bigger-bodied guy, 6'2", about 6'3", is exactly what Green Bay needs. That 4.55 is exactly accurate. So Treylon Burks is going to be the Packers' newest wide receiver, possibly one out the gate. I know Green Bay is going to probably be relying a lot on Lazard, specifically for his run blocking abilities, but probably a day one, wide receiver one projection, to be honest. And this would be such a lovely spot to potentially trade up for Trevor Penning, but we're going to hopefully see Kenyon Green sit where we are. The Cardinals with Jameson Williams, not the worst play in the world. Linderbaum to the Cowboys, that is an amazing pick for them. The Bills take Kenyon Green. This actually may, ironically enough, be a trade down. The Buccaneers with Howell. Interesting. Is Nakobe Dean the first sort of coverage linebacker off the board as well? If I'm not mistaken, maybe actually I wasn't really paying attention to linebacker. Lloyd could be gone, actually. I just really didn't pay attention. I'm going to just be honest with you. But Ajabo still being there isn't super surprising with the ACL tear. I would imagine Jordan Davis went. I seen some mock recently that had Jordan Davis going like at pick 22 to Green Bay, which is just laughable. It's just not going to happen. He's not going to fall that far. Wyatt would be more realistic, a little bit older. I'm honestly thinking Green Bay maybe trades this pick. I know Trevor Penning's there, but he's just not going to be here at 28. Ryman would be. It'd be kind of a trade down situation like we mentioned. You could still end up grabbing another wide receiver if you trade down, maybe regain or come close to regaining that 3rd/4th round value. I think we're going to be looking to trade this down to like pick 7 or 8 in the 2nd round. I think Green Bay, definitely with the depth on the roster, should be looking to trade down more than they are trading up. And, of course, we already kind of broke that rule of ourselves. So, yeah, we got to be kind of careful there. So it's not my job to say, if the Falcons making a trade up makes any sense because they just look like a complete rebuild team. But pick 28, a 5th this, and a 7th next year for 41 and 73, which comes out to be a little bit in our favor. But once again, they're the team trading up. That's kind of what we did as well. We traded up. And it is for a quarterback. In fairness, Kenny Pickett, maybe a late 1st, early 2nd isn't the worst projection. So I feel pretty good about that. McBride to the Dolphins. It's got to send a pretty clear message to Mike Gesicki. Of course, the Chiefs. Why wouldn't they land such a great player? The Bengals are the running back. Makes sense. The Lions are the quarterback at 32. Makes sense. Daxton Hill, it's a clutch pick for Jacksonville. They really need safety. Cornerback could be a huge need for Detroit. Kind of depends on the injuries. Ajabo is a bit of a steal for New York, who once again isn't really in win now technically. The Texans pulling off a random tackle. Ryman to the Jets is pretty clutch. Maybe we could have had him there. Maybe you go crazy and grab another wide receiver if you're Green Bay here. You, of course, just miss out on Wyatt, which would be heartbreaking, I imagine. Even though he's kind of on the older side, like we said, it would be heartbreaking. Boya Mafe, I don't know if he would still be there, but there's some interesting names still here. You still have Christian Watson, who could be, maybe kind of a MVS replacement. Would be very clutch. Winfrey would be also huge. Ooh, Perrion Winfrey, though. I keep saying we because I am a Packers fan, obviously, but Green Bay definitely needs interior of the defensive line. It's kind of why you make one of these types of trade downs, so you can add talent. Tariq Woolen, though, with that speed. That's more of a want than a need, though. You got Stokes, who played pretty well. Obviously, you just paid Rasul. Kind of struggling with this one, to be honest. It's very hard to pass on some of these wide receivers, but I will admit, some of those guys could be there at the end of this round anyways, so I'm debating it. I'm going to go Perrion Winfrey, I think. Let's see what we got here. Hidden development trait, 85 strength, 74 speed. He ran pretty fast. Okay. Automatic starter, to be honest. You're starting to add some talent around Kenny Clark. And at this point, I think you got to hope that none of the teams that need wide receiver are going to be back-to-back here. Like, if the Ravens take a wide receiver, we're screwed. Because you just can't trade up with the Browns for a wide receiver, even though they took, Garrett in the 1st round. They still need wide receiver. If a wide receiver goes here, that'd be clutch. No, the Colts and the Saints. Ah, Lord. This is a GG, isn't it? No, it's not. This is shaping up to be a hell of a draft. I think somebody's going to bite on Christian Watson, though, I'm going to be honest. But apparently no one does. Now, I'm not saying that he will be here, but there's been, I mean, for weeks there was mocks that had him, you know, late second round. This is late, but it's not as late as some of the mocks I've seen. If Christian Watson is there, I mean, I got to think that Green Bay is going to grab him. Of course, he's a little bit too fast probably in this class, 95 speed. Maybe slightly too fast, but a big guy. You kind of replace MVS with a new MVS, if you will. And also, you know, you added the DT. You added a different wide receiver in the first round. Pickens goes to the Cowboys, of course. They land another steal. And this is where you'd probably be looking for edge or, once again, offensive line help. It's a really tough pick for me because Green Bay actually we have some pretty decent choices here. You got, like, you know, someone like Quay Walker who's super athletic. Drake Jackson looks super intriguing. You can never have enough corners, I suppose. Safety is going to become a salary issue soon, but also offensive line needs immediate help. I feel like there's just more offensive linemen, or there's more edge than there is offensive linemen, to be honest. So I'm kind of thinking we just grab Kinnard here and just plug him right in at left guard, which is what we're going to do. Hidden development trait. Obviously, how will that turn out in real life? I do not know, but kind of thinking about trading up again. I really like Drake Jackson. Of course, probably be jumping a little early to grab him, but at the same time, we have pick 9. Shouldn't cost too much to get up there, even if we have to move a little bit from next year. Once again, the Packers do have a lot of depth issues, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. The Niners, though, don't know if they would trade. It's kind of like a recent rivalry, to be honest. So we trade 73 this, 125 this, and 188 this for 61. And I'm also going to add a 6th round next year on top of it, if I can get to it. We're also going to give them a 7th round because we kind of have to take their 7th round to get that. I also don't even know if one of those 7s belongs to us, but fair enough. We're going to be grabbing Drake Jackson with this pick. I think you could wait if you're Green Bay, but at this point, it's kind of starting to seem like linebacker, like inside linebacker is more of what's going to be around it. And with Chris Barnes, I don't think, like, Green Bay could use the depth there, but I just think the depth at edge, especially with how many injuries Green Bay has had over the last couple of years, the depth would definitely add more from the edge standpoint. Another hidden development trait, maybe a little bit too high of, or too many hidden developments. Also, with this class, I've adjusted some of the players. I haven't looked at any of the devs. The only devs I know of are the ones that we've drafted, but I did edit a lot of the speeds, as you know, a lot of people did point out. Obviously, Sam Williams had like 80 speed or something like that. I think, who else was it? It was a first rounder. Trayvon Walker had 78 speed. I don't even know what's going on there, but you know, just those types of things needed to be fixed. But of course, we're past our trade up limit, in my opinion. I mean, hell, we probably traded up too many times already. We did obviously trade down once, but that doesn't really, you know, equate to that. Doesn't fix that problem. You know, like we were talking about, Green Bay absolutely needs some safety help. You just don't know who's going to be on that, you know, in that group, you know, in the next year or two. So Alontae Taylor, super speed demon, normal development trait, but you have 95 speed, 95 excel. Could be a future starter. Did we actually draft him recently and just didn't use him? I can't remember. Not having, like, the perfect draft for Green Bay's needs. We definitely grabbed a little more of want than we did need at times, but I mean, we potentially solved the wide receiver room, I will say. So, I mean, just saying. I'm not saying thank me or anything, but, you know, maybe thank me. And with the 6th round pick, we're going to add some depth to the linebacker room again. Jack Campbell's going to be the choice. A little bit on the slower side. Did run like a 4.7, which is probably closer to 83, 84 speed, but still, backup, you know, talent. We're in the 6th round. I mean, it's, if you find a guy that can be a starter for you, you're doing something well. Kind of just special teamers, which obviously Green Bay needs a ton of anyways. I got to imagine someone's going to take the freaking booming leg, but I'm just going to be the one because, 87 kick power, excuse me? Yeah, I'm not sure what that was. 87 kick power. Okay. Treylon Burks. But like I said, potentially automatically number 1. I'm just going to put him the number 1. Lazard's got to be up there too, but I mean, this is just, it's a weird squad. That's all I can really tell you. It's a weird squad. Superstar development trait. That's a win squad. Perrion Winfrey also will start, so I will take a look at his dev as well. I don't know his strength, but I got to imagine the fact that he's moving up the boards quite a bit, he's got to be a little bit stronger than 85. I'm just going to say 87 is kind of fair for pretty much every prospect. Actually, we might have needed left end more than right end. I don't know. Christian Watson, I'm pretty sure, though, is... I mean, the face scans aren't going to be perfect, but... you know... I mean, it is hard to do, but, like... This looks a bit better. I mean, just a little. But yeah, I think I will let the speed kind of exist. Those traits are insane, by the way. Kennard, I think he's going to be playing left guard for us. Not going to change any of the other devs. I actually had to check to see if anyone did dev up that shouldn't have, to be honest. Because I think we already gave Devondre a dev up, which, to be fair, he should be at star. I don't understand how he started the Madden year at star and ended up finishing it as as normal. Makes zero sense. He literally played way better than anyone expected, like by a mile. It's ridiculous. Not gonna look at the dev of Drake Jackson. He probably will be a starter over Preston at some point, but not at the moment, so I'm not gonna touch that. And then Matt here, the punt god, the kick god. Gonna be putting him at, I'll put him at 98 kick power, even though he probably should be at 99. I'm just gonna put him at 98 just because. Just because. And number 24, really? We have no other numbers? Now, I don't know a whole lot about this Isaiah McCoy guy in Madden. I just know that he's young, and he's very slow. This is not a 6'7" or 6'8" wide receiver, in case you were wondering. I would have also been wondering the same thing. He's 6'2", and also a free agent. Holy crap, holy! He's dog soup. I don't even... Dogs eat soup, but Crosby does have more than 85 kick power. The accuracy is a little bit up to debate. I will say, if you watched Green Bay's games last year, it really was hard to tell what the situation was. There was a lot of holder issues and long snapper issues, but yeah, I'm not going to touch the accuracy, but I will say that kick power is just wrong. He's still got enough. I'd say 92 kick power is absolutely fair. I also do debate Treylon Burks' dev maybe a little too high, especially if a team like Green Bay drafts him, but, well, it's hard to say, actually, because... You know, somebody does need to thrust into that number 1 role, and he probably, whoever the Packers draft, if they do in the first round, probably will be thrust into that, assuming they don't get injured. But, yeah, I don't know. Superstar is a bit high for my liking, but I'm just going to allow it. Whatever, man. Funny, we have so many into linebackers, and I'm just looking at it, I was like, if you look at this list, who stands out the most? It's the slow man, Jack Campbell, of course, but, yeah. I also kind of misclicked and wanted Jack Sanborn, not Jack Campbell, but, it'd be what it be. Considering he's not even, supposed to be here. Oh, Lord. If I can trade him for Sanborn, I'm going to do it. I mean, you could see where I would make the mistake, right? Like, they got the same type of builds right to Chicago as well, and he's wearing number 10. Jordan Love, thankfully, is here, so they'll hopefully fix him to someone else, but... Well, they just take it straight up. He's a higher overall. Once again, though, like I said, I think we did have too many 7th-round picks because of needing to trade for draft picks for the other teams, like the Eagles and the Saints and whatnot. So that's fair enough. We got the guy. I know Campbell's not supposed to be around here, and he's probably projected a little bit higher than the 6th-round pick, but... I suppose it doesn't really matter in the end because these guys are probably not going to be projected to start anyways. All right, so let's take a look at the roster. This is going to be a bit of a debatable one. If this is real life, I'm not sure how you look at the roster. I still got to think that Treylon would be the number 1 if you draft him. And Watson's got to start somewhere, but Lazard is too important of a blocker for this team to, not have him in the starting lineup. But I worry about not having enough twitch. I don't know if you feel great about Cobb, as he's good for a couple of games, but he's just always injured. Amari Rodgers really didn't show a whole lot in his rookie debut for the Packers, and Sammy Watkins, also another injury-prone guy, but maybe that's why you brought him in, to try and at least have depth there. I'm debating on what I want to do with this. I think this is just the lineup, dude. I don't know what else to tell you. Everything else, I mean... I think it's pretty clear-cut. I don't think anyone's going to argue with anything other than maybe right tackle. I'm going to allow Rashawn Gary to stay at superstar. He really did deserve it. And I didn't boost him there. He just, he got it from his season. We did have the sliders. Ooh, I just remember that. We did have the XP sliders on 0, so that's why everyone across the league is the exact same overall, even though we're a year later. Stokes, I'm hoping develops. Jair, I'm hoping we re-sign. I don't know what the books look like, but I imagine without Davante, Green Bay has to at least... If they drop the ball on Jair, I don't know what to tell you. Now, I will say, in Green Bay's defense with Davante, it did seem like they were willing to offer him, near $30 million per year, and he didn't. He's just like, I'm kind of over it. You didn't show me enough love. Maybe the Rodgers drama. So at the end of the day, maybe it's not in Green Bay's choices. Once again, it is Green Bay. It's not the most pretty place to live. If you've proven yourself like Jair, unless he gets injured again for the season, specifically early on, you can kind of go anywhere. Do you really want to stay in Green Bay, Wisconsin? I don't know. So, as far as real life, I don't know. But in-game, absolutely the first order of business. And, yeah, it's a decent team. The window's open, but I will say, having to kind of restart at wide receiver is a bit of a setback, but we'll see how fast we can do it with the superstar dev, Treylon Burks. This is probably the biggest L in franchise history. Not even Madden franchise, or in Packers franchise history, but Madden franchise history. As a normal dev corner, you can't fail those. Winfrey had 2 chances tonight. Camp breakout didn't get even the XP one. And now another chance did not get the dev up. By the way, I don't know if I kept it in the video. Who decided that it was a good idea to have an alarm sound for the prospect thing? Or just in general? Why would you want an alarm sound for that? Nobody likes that, dude. Like, they really just want to be rated the worst game company ever, forever. I guess an award's an award, if you will. Also, this guy is 6'1", 23 years old. Thanks for the suggestion. All right, the question of just how broke are we is about to be answered, and apparently not that broke after all. I think a 5-year 112 is just fine. I think that's like a 22.5 per, which I think, Jalen Ramsey's like a 20 per. This makes sense because he's, a little more in his prime even. So I think that's fair. I think that's probably what he'll get it done for in real life, maybe a little more. Alan Jenkins, if I'm him, I'm asking for the whole damn team, but I think a 5-year 65 is probably a little low, to be honest. A 5-year 70, even that's probably low, but I'm going to allow it. 5-year 70, you have Amos, who is in a very interesting spot. He's a very good safety, but age is a problem. But more importantly is the issue of just not having a whole lot of money. We're down to 20 mil. You have to pay Savage. I don't know if that's somebody you would choose over Amos, but that money right there, 5-year 24, is a lot closer. Robert Tonyan, I don't know how good he's going to play here. If he plays well, maybe he deserves a contract. Same with Jaron Reed. Same with Chris Barnes. So Adrian Amos might be a free agent. Come on, Lazard. Do it. Become a star dev, please. Yes, star dev, my man. Another. Mate, the perfect chemistry one is so busted, dude. I haven't changed the scheme at all. It's just Green Bay on offense, whatever it's set at, really. I did put him at the number 1 wide receiver spot, but, that's still not guaranteed. I know it's not crazy. It's like 125 or whatever, but it's maybe the first time I've ever, and we will ever, see again, Alan Lazard as a superstar dev plus wide receiver. Of course, he comes up with 143 yards, 3 touchdowns. Burks still does well. Watson maybe not so well. Gronk is a Viking. Even the ground game was still decent. I'm just saying, dude, we cooking. We got to pay Alan Lazard now, dude. What's going on? And this is weird. I think the game kind of glitched out because we're getting a superstar dev breakout for Lazard, even though he's already a superstar. I don't even know what's going on here. But what I will tell you is we cannot afford him, I would imagine. Oh, he didn't really raise that much. To be fair, he isn't really developing. He is a superstar, but he's kind of just a blocker. He's a weird, like, one-of-one type of player, right? So A 3 or 23 makes sense for like a blocking wide receiver. I don't even know, dude. It's just like an undefined position I've never even heard of. He's just like his own guy. 5-year 26. Savage really hasn't developed into that. Like, he looks like a capable starter, but he hasn't been like the next level starter that everyone thinks he's gonna be or is primed to be. So I'm gonna kind of chill on giving him anything more than that. I think that's fair. Tanyan, I think, might just be let go. I don't know what kind of season he's having, but let's take a look. Stats and contract. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's not bad considering, in real life he kind of didn't even really play, and, it's only halfway through the season, so, at least he's playing all right. Look at this. Hello? There's too much going on here. I hope he gets it, because I don't know what's going to happen here. Damn it. Oh, it's Treylon. Wait, what? Oh, no, that was that. There was 3 things involving Lazard. I forgot. There was a breakout, a team breakout, or a tandem breakout for Treylon. And then there was this for Lazard. Wasn't my whatever. I don't really care, to be honest. And then there's this, which, of course, I imagine, because the last one didn't work. This one obviously didn't work either. But still, from normal to superstar, my man. I was about to say he wasn't there at first. I thought Rodgers really got him fired. Who is he? He's done it. First beat me mad. Let's be honest. Rodgers ain't going nowhere with nobody. He ain't going to play no Madden. He ain't going to play no bowling. He will do what he's doing now and use the invisibility cloak that wouldn't matter. Or maybe he's the towel. I don't know. Oh, it's not. Oh, there's another. We had to wait a week. That's kind of something. Okay, fair enough. He still got a chance. Still got a chance to be an X Factor, which should just be quite strange, to be honest. Lost by 3, but still a chance that my game breaks. Nice, I guess. Sweet. Come on, EA. Wait, what? Is he an X Factor? Huh? Didn't score, but he still earned 1,000 XP. So it must have been 150 yards. Alan Lazard's an X Factor. I don't know how to feel about this. Unless it broke. Maybe it is only 125. I don't know, because this isn't a known broken scenario. I haven't seen any broken scenarios. It might have been. I don't remember even clicking the Superstar X Factor one for our Peoples Jones. It went off for 130. I'm gonna assume that it's valid. If not, he still deserves Superstar at least. You can't take that away from him anyways. But what the hell, dude? Alan Lazard is an X Factor. I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't even know what's happening. Like, Burks was the number 1, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's just Lazard was getting breakout after breakout. Still probably won't be that high of an overall. 79 overall, maybe. Of course, 91 speed. He's actually, I don't know if he's gone up a bunch of upgrades. I kind of want to take a look at that. He's only got 60 run block in the game? What? Bro, this game, dude. This game, man. Okay, I guess. Good season. This dude's a nut. I didn't even, I had him as my number 3. I was kind of honestly just thinking about replacing him soon, but fair enough. Let's actually take a look at his overalls, because like I said, I feel like he's went up a lot of speed. +1 of speed there. I don't know if they're going to show it any further back. A bunch of losses there. No real upgrades, actually. Maybe he was already 90 speed. I don't know, but just felt like he was way slower than that in the game, like 89. I would give him like 88, 89, to be honest, but fair enough. The team looks okay. I mean, can't go wrong with an X Factor wide receiver. How the hell, dude? I honestly can't get over it. It's just something I wasn't expecting. Chris Barnes, I mean, replaceable, but that money does seem fair the way he's playing. It just kind of seems like a serviceable backup, to Devondre's number 1. I'm willing to give him a 3 or 12. I think that's fair for both parties. Yeah, we have to let Amos go if we want to try to re-sign Rashawn Gary, which, honestly, even at this point, I don't know if we're going to be able to do. Gotta let him go, unfortunately. But not unfortunate is the season we had, which was pretty good, and a playoff one. Good up against the Vikings in this one as well. Let's take a look at the season. A little bit of a choke job near the end of the season. Who would have thought that would be attributed to Green Bay? Never would that have ever been something I expected. But we made the playoffs, and that's really the only thing you can do. Take a look at the stats and awards real quick, which show that Rodgers had another pretty good year. Not MVP-like. Well, I mean, MVP-like, just not, good enough to win the MVP award. Jones was pretty damn good. I will say, if you were to put all the rushing touchdowns into passing, Rodgers did have a 6 season. But speaking of 6 seasons, Lazard killed it. Treylon was actually very solid. Watson was pretty good in his complimentary role. Tanyan, I think you can just get that. Unless he wants to, join another 1 year, whatever. It's just not worth the money, in my opinion. Looking at the blocking, was actually amazing. Preston Smith, 15 sacks, 11 for Gary. I mean, maybe Preston doesn't get replaced. This team is going above and beyond, especially considering some of the players that are doing what they're doing. I just don't expect it. Even Crosby was 15 for 17. What's going on? Let's take a look at the yearly awards. MVP goes to Mr. Mahomes. The fact that Rodgers is number 8, despite the fact that his running backs put up like 30 touchdowns, is pretty crazy. NFC side, any award wins, no rookie award wins. Best wide receiver was number 9 and 10. Bakhtiari at number 2, Elton at number 7. Linebackers, or D-line, nowhere. But Preston, best linebacker in the league. Rashawn at number 4. DB, Amos at number 9. But once again, sorry. Can't really do much about that, buddy. But let's go up against the Vikings, a team that, maybe has worse win-loss than Green Bay over the last, 2 decades, which would be crazy to think because, you think of Green Bay and good team, but playoffs, obviously, we don't talk about. But going to the end of the game, just don't lose to Minnesota. That's all you got to do. You can lose to anyone you want, just don't let it be Minnesota, specifically in the first round. Second or third round, you lose to some good team. People are still going to troll the hell out of you, but at least you'll feel better about it, I guess. Up by 7, up by 14, only up by 7 again. Fourth quarter, turnover. Minnesota taking advantage, 31-28, 38-28. And had a couple of games this season where 31-28 was not treating us well, but this time, we excel and win 41-28. Looking at Rodgers' numbers, did throw a pick, but he did have a better game than Kirk. Rushing, pretty similar stuff. I suppose Lazard had a pretty good game. Treylon has been very good. Maybe outshined. Oh, my God. I'm not Canadian or northern freaking Wisconsinite. Damn it, dude. What about? I don't know. But maybe outshined a little bit by the fact that Lazard went from normal to X Factor in 1 season, but it is what it is, man. Sometimes gotta let man shine. That's actually crazy. I don't think you understand. He went from normal to X Factor, and he's like a tight end playing wide receiver. I'm just saying. Speed and excel and 2 catching for an already insanely good corner. I swear, the higher overall you are, the better upgrades you get. I don't know how that works. It just seems to. 2 to kick accuracy. Obviously, kick power would be a little unfair to get him to 99, but it's fair enough. Kennard, going to go with the power because he's an interior guy. Not a bad upgrade, and I don't know why I'm even showing you guys this stuff, but hey, here you go. The Falcons, I don't understand. Am I going to have to start, force losing for teams that are just not going to do what they're doing? Because, they're just not going to make the playoffs. If they make the playoffs, maybe. But winning a playoff game, no shot. Maybe. No, it's just it's not going to happen, dude. And even if it does happen, Falcons fans shouldn't want it to because it was likely a fluke anyways. Let's just be honest. But here they are, ready to beat us, obviously. Down by 3 already. Nice rushing touchdown for probably Aaron Jones. 10-7. Still 10-7. 14-10. 14-13. 21-13. 28-13. 35-13. This is kind of what we were expecting. A little bit of revenge against Julio and that team, but obviously Julio's gone and that team is basically not the same, but kind of revenge, I guess. It's like if you're the younger sibling and your 5 years older brother is on his deathbed and you pull the plug on him. It's like, haha, you still had 5 months to live, but remember when you bullied me when we were 7? That's exactly what it is. Kenny Pickett with 3 touchdowns and a pick. Of course, looking at Rodgers, perfect game. Dylan, a lot of carries, but Aaron Jones was just insane. 110 after contact, 61 as the long. Looking at the receiving stats, Lazard had another couple of touchdowns. And, this team is looking good. Rashawn Gary with 3 sacks, 2 for Jaron Reed. Jair with an interception. I mean, I've seen the Packers make the playoffs a few times. They don't really win it often. Sometimes, but it's not super common, and they never win it this early. It's always like year 3 or 4, but we will take what we can get. It's looking all right here. We also just got a nice little juicy upgrade from Mr. Jordan Love, who is now a 71 overall. Based on his salary, might actually be able to get rid of him next season for a pretty minimal loss and potential gain of maybe a 3rd-round pick or something. A little bit of an L, but once again, not everyone hits perfectly on their first-round picks anyway. So, you take that and just, even though it's completely untrue, just say it's the reason why Rodgers played better. I mean, it actually might not be completely untrue. That's just how petty he is. Really would not surprise me if real-life Rodgers was, after they drafted Love, wanted to outplay the hell out of anything Love could have possibly done and then just leave them. But then he was like, you know what, the NFC is actually really easy right now. I'm just going to stay here and maybe we'll finally get over the hump. Of course, speaking of getting over the hump, Dallas seems to finally have been able to get the better of Green Bay here as they win 38-17. And yet another championship loss for Green Bay with Rodgers choking. Nice. Love it, dude. Lazard's actually played really well, too. I don't know exactly why we played so poorly, but, I mean, the guys look good, but just, I don't know, just accept it, man. The response if you try to ask EA why the game's so broken at times. All right, DevOps, not on offense, which is crazy to think because you see a Lazard and he's an 81 overall, but of course, kind of just like a catching guru. Not really, I don't know what he's going to be able to develop to, but we take it, I guess. Defensively, any DevOps. Rashawn Gary is an X Factor. Preston's a superstar. I feel like that's all very fair upgrades, to be honest. But, yeah, I don't know what we're going to do with Preston, to be honest. Just unexpected upgrade, I guess, even though he's not really, it's okay, not really unexpected because he played really well, but unexpected to want him to get an upgrade. I mean, I kind of am ready to just start Drake Jackson, if you don't mind. We're also broke. Once again, rotational players at edge is not a bad thing to have depth at, right? Edge depth is good. So Drake Jackson will be sitting a little bit, but he'll be back. Well, not back, but he'll be the starter more than likely in 2024. In real life, that's kind of when Green Bay can get rid of him. Probably not a hit they want to take. $7 million dead hit, savings of 8. But, might be something they do. Just saying. So we'll monitor it, see what kind of money we have. Also see Amos kind of went down already, so I'm not really feeling too bad. Also, I think Crosby just retired, which kind of sucks. But yeah, we need to definitely add a kicker and then probably just draft a safety. Because, no team's going to draft a kicker and start him, right? You have to go with somebody that's been around in the league. Zane Gonzalez, I don't know what kind of contract, if he's, signed in real life. I apologize. Kicker realism isn't really realism I care too much about, so, just don't sue me. Marquise Brown, the only decent receiver that the Ravens have. Well, wide receiver at least. Of course, they let him go. Montez Sweat would be cool, but don't really need him. Cole Hardman, Jack Conklin. I mean, some okay names, some mid-tier names that are actually kind of Steel-like, but once again, we are broke as hell, and once again, we don't have Davante. Zane Gonzalez has accepted the offer. I only kind of glanced at this college players. It seemed like there was a lot of tall safeties, so don't know what that's going to be like, but likely going to grab one of them. If your options, Jordan Love, real life, possibly. And I'm not really sure kind of the line. Nah, I don't think so. I think he's gone no matter what. But doesn't mean we can't trade to a quarterback-needy team. Maybe get a mid-third, perhaps. Texans have pick 17, and Davis Mills clearly doesn't seem to be a very capable starter. I think this is our trade piece. I think we're going to go for a 3rd and a 5th. There it is. So we trade 29 and 93 to the Chiefs for 24, which will be our free safety, who will likely play strong safety, Mr. Strickland. He's 6'4" with a 4.4 40. Of course, there's a couple of other safeties, but they all don't really look super, I can't really feel confident grabbing them. This guy is a C zone, but a 4.57. We don't know the zone of the guy that we're trading up for here, but, I'll show you this guy as well, Tyler Higgins. Question mark, 23, 4'5", and he's 6 foot tall. I mean, what do I do? This guy, I believe, was a 4'5'9", if I'm not mistaken. He's 23 anyways, 4'5'5". I mean, it's not in my nature to do these things. I was actually kind of debating this guy more than anyone, but the D's, I'm not really a huge fan of that. But Tyler Strickland, please be hidden, and that's all I could ask for. Give it. No, it's all right, because he is, once again, pretty athletic. 91 speed, 90 excel, 91 agility, pretty good change of direction and jumping as well for a safety. So we will take that. Not half bad. Now in the next pick, I'm just going to go to it. There was a DT that was a 3 to 4. There was also a DT that was 2 to 3. I don't know if the DT that was 2 to 3 will be there. He looked pretty good, probably better than the 3 to 4 to be honest, but let's see if he's there. He is not, but the 3 to 4 is there. Did we get enough scout on him? We did. I kind of based it off of his 40 and his bench before the extra scouting. We need another defensive end, and I just think it's a clear cut. Yeah, I'm not even going to trade down. It's not worth it. Normal dev again, but could be a good player. We'll see. It is a bit of an L, I can admit, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I also kind of want to trade up for... We do have 2 middle linebackers that look pretty good, but we got Chris Barnes. We're fine, right? 4.39 is obviously sick, but this guy, Barry Bushrod, I remember the Saints having a guy named Bushrod, and the Bears getting him, and he was pretty decent. This guy's like the only halfway decent lineman, that I've seen. A bunch of Bs across the board. There's no centers at all. There was just none. They all look so bad. Of course, you can see they're all day 3s. I'm debating it. I don't know. I feel like maybe I wouldn't say you could wait to 17, but do I want to trade up? I'm not sure. Also, of course, the only tight end I found was kind of trash. So we trade 81 this, 157 this, and 128 next for 65. Which, of course, is the team that we actually got the third-round pick from, so they're kind of adding to that, I suppose. And with this pick, we will be grabbing the left guard, who could be a plug-and-play at right guard. We'll see. Barry Bushrod, who is our only hidden development trait player so far. And I am a little bit tired, but I don't know if that's really a good excuse for just, everything I say to be kind of, drawn out. It just seems like everything I say is, so slow. God. This is why you can't trust those 40 times, man. You just don't know. But tight end, we don't have one. Now, I'm not saying this guy is the answer, but a beat catching traffic, 6'6", with a 4.6 40. I think I'm willing to trade up. Maybe not with Seattle. We already trade up with them, but maybe the Giants or the Niners. And Downing goes. Yeah, let's not... I'm not going to trade... I'm not going to move any further, because Downing was a decent-looking corner as well. He was actually pretty fast and decently tall, but let's make a trade up with the Giants. Shouldn't cost us too much. Actually, it kind of might. I think it might just cost us the rest of this draft, to be honest. 145, 192, and a 7th. Of course, that 6th is next year, that 192 at least. And it's going to be our final pick. No 6th or 7th round picks, but I don't know. I feel like some of the players might be decent, even if they are normal. Josh English, speaking of normal, 85 speed. I suppose if you want the speed, excel, and agility to be, the fastest in order, that's definitely the best way to do it. 6'6", 270 as well. Probably a good blocker. Kind of giving me Gronk vibes, though, no? It's literally Gronk. We'll see his trucking. I highly doubt it's going to be Gronk level, but let's see the overalls. 71. We can live with that. We can definitely live with that. I really wish Strickland would have been hidden, but obviously you can look at the size, the speed, and that catching. They definitely intend him to be a good player. And number 25 just gives me Ryan Grant feels. I'm not doing it. The body ain't, it's still warm, but number 31, I guess. It's a cool safety number. I'm sorry. Mr. Jamario Wright, how good was he? 73 block shed, 70 finesse, was it? Finesse. Got bull rush. Pretty athletic as well, so actually not a bad player. I actually thought his strength would have been lower considering the way he's built. Kind of seems like a finesse guy. I can't remember if we need a right end or a left end, but somewhere. Of course. Oh, yeah, we did land a hidden, actually. Bushrod. I forgot about that. It's going to be our new... Well, I don't know if he's going to be our new right guard, but he'll be projected as a right guard, I suppose, with the development trade of star as expected. Kind of glad he was star, because if I do decide to trade Runyon, maybe people won't think that I cheated to, like, oh, he looked at it, that's why he did it, he knew. It's like, well, it's not really why, but okay. Wow, these safeties maybe did suck. Jamison Langford, wow, he's bad. I figured slow. I didn't think that slow. I mean, that's kind of nuts, dude. Duke Bolware, was this one of the... What? Linebacker? Hello? Yo, these safeties were trash. This guy's at least somewhat usable, but these guys are insanely slow, dude. Like, these are this might be the worst safety class I've ever seen, unless there was like a higher first round guy. I mean, these are really slow, normal development trait safeties that just don't deserve to be starting. I mean, look at these guys. This guy's actually kind of usable. This is actually the guy I was looking at. No wonder why he's kind of usable, because he's one of the guys I was projecting to potentially take this game, dude. I know it too well. I don't care what his dev is, to be honest, unless it's X Factor or something like that. But once again, rich get richer, I suppose. Maybe not worth the trade up, but definitely better than all the other safeties combined by a mile. Wait, we're a 78 overall? Really? Wait, how? Wait, what? Wait, how? Where? Excuse me. To be fair, I'm starting to think about it. I mean, it's not the greatest overalls, actually. Yeah, actually kind of makes sense. We've got 2 good tackles, a good quarterback, a good running back, potential at wide receiver, but yo, this could be a fail rebuild. I was thinking this is too easy. Like, it's going to be too quick, but now that I'm looking over the team, and yeah, we've got a lot of holes, actually. Hold up. Hold. As we were talking about the rich get richer, I mean, I'm telling you, good overall players just, they get those juiced ratings or whatever, the juiced upgrades. Mid-zone KO. Another mid-zone. Not that it matters, but can you get, like, Bull Rush? Under pressure makes sense. Where's El Toro? Actually, let's go with this. Yeah, I know. It's funny because I don't know if we're going to even be able to afford Rashawn Gary, to be honest. Actually, Randall Cobb, is he still here? He's not supposed to be, I don't think. I think this would be where his contract would be void. Actually, maybe it isn't void, but you can get rid of him for like $1 million, but honestly, at this rate, if he's still willing to strap him up, welcome back, buddy. I'm just saying, we don't got that kind of talent around here to deny a starter. But yeah, Runyon, I mean, he's an okay player. You could actually probably trade him off for maybe even like a 5th, perhaps. And I honestly think I might. We need all the help we can get. Usually just don't see these kind of moves because, you don't want to get rid of a capable starter. But in this sense, it is a rebuild, so I don't really mind too much. The Bills could use a lineman. I mean, a 5th-round pick, especially a late. You broke bastards. All right, Broncos, screw it. You ruined your chance. Get more money. All right, here's the squad. I think Rodgers should probably be sitting at like a 93 plus. Once again, you got to realize how good of a season he had. It's just the running back stole a bunch of touchdowns. I mean, put up like 70, 80 touchdowns on the season. Imagine it was top 5 scoring offense. Maybe drop that speed a little, though. Drop a little bit of that. Actually, I've seen some of his social media activity. Let's drop that awareness just a tad bit. Yeah, just a little bit. And can please? Can we just get? I don't want to do it because we're upgrading his ratings too much. Whatever, 93. All right, we may be too broke to keep the team intact. Yo! What kind of money? Let me look at how much that is. 27.5 per year on a 7, though. There's no shot. Like, that's slightly less than TJ Watt on 3 more years. I can't do that, dude. I'll give you more than TJ, but not in that many years. A 4-year 114. Okay. Somebody's looking at the tag. Just going to be honest. A.J. Dillon, this is a fair contract for him, I think. I think in real life, I think you got to realize if you're him, you're just not like a number 1 type of running back. Like, he's a very good running back, but he's just not an every down back. And I think, it works out for both sides, obviously, if he stays around on that price. And what is this, actually? Oh, but look who can get a dev up. I know it's normal to star, but still, interior lineman, finally. So I gave Rashawn Gary our own makeshift contract. I gave him a, holy crap, the division looks like trash, a 4-year deal worth $105 million with 80 guaranteed, which is similar to what TJ Watt got. But TJ Watt's was like $7 million more technically, so still will be less than TJ, but overall still an insanely lucrative contract, which once again isn't very far off of what he was asking for, but the difference is 4 years versus 7. And finishing 10-7, not really that good. Obviously, the rest of the... ooh, nice. So now 3 of our rookie class players with star. Sweet. But yeah, not a great season. Luckily, the division was pretty trash. Let's take a look at the schedule. Might have had some tough ones in there. You know, Ravens, Cowboys, losing the 0-4 Lions at the time. The Saints, fair enough. Chargers, tough. Broncos, Panthers, semi-tough, specifically Madden terms. So I guess it wasn't the easiest schedule, if you will. Let's take a look at our numbers. Quez Watkins, the number 1 wide receiver for yards. Rodgers playing like an MVP again. I mean, what do I do, though? Like, he and Brady are those types of generational talents where you can keep kind of keeping their overall up each year and, you know, see where the sky ends, I guess. English, not many yards, but a lot of touchdowns. Could actually go to star dev. Looking at the blocking, really good again. Preston, really good again. I mean, will Drake Jackson ever get a chance to start? I mean, I don't know. Is he at least playing a lot of snaps? I don't imagine he is. 353. I mean, he is playing snaps. He was a late second, but I mean, what do? Preston Smith is killing it. But once again, does it matter about the sack numbers, or is it more important the actual overall of players for your chance to win? I don't know. Best NFC quarterback goes to Rodgers. Any other award wins? The answer is no. Once again, I know we have some like kind of iffy positions, but like, are we really that low of an overall? Like, what is this? I don't understand. We're an 81 overall or something. We got Rodgers, we got Jones. The wide receivers got to be decent overalls by now. Some of the defenders are pretty insane. We play really well as well, so I don't even know. But 21-24, what a damn score at halftime. Nobody can play defense. Hopefully that continues to stay the same until now. Damn it, nope. Back to it. No! What's happening? Wait, did we get the stop? We got the stop. Oh my god. The Eagles, of course, overall, pretty decent. Higher than ours, but really? We're almost losing to that team? Rodgers threw a pick, but not that many. There's only one. Running game was pretty bad, actually. Lazard was decent. Burks was decent. Jones was pretty good. Defensively, sack totals for us were pretty bad. Picks, you got a couple with our cornerbacks, and we just played enough defense when it mattered. Well, you might as well call it over because Dallas has come to town. Well, I guess we've come to town to Dallas, I suppose. Our defense is a much higher overall than our offense, which is sweet. But I will say, we do have just enough playmakers on offense. You know, our overall is kind of being dragged down by the tight end and, you know, some of the offensive linemen, some of the wide receiver overalls. But they all play pretty well. So, I mean, you never know. 7-9. Looks like they, I imagine, got a safety. It kind of looked away for a split second. 21-9, fourth quarter. It's still anyone's game. Dallas just can't score, though, and we're going to hold them out of the end zone. That higher overall defense definitely showed up there. Rodgers threw another pick, but a lot better than Dak. Obviously, Jones was okay on the ground. Once again, you look at that, 14 for 86, but like more than half of it was on one run. Burks with 2 touchdowns. I mean, these receivers are touchdown machines, I will say. Taylor with a pick. Rasul with another pick. Sack totals lacking hard. Kicking very iffy from us. A little iffy from them. 4 for 6. I mean, 66%. Look at Alan Lazard, 85 overall. Look at the route running. It's still pretty rough, but very good at catching. Sucks at our interior linemen for a 3-4. You know, working on block shed more than power rush and, you know, getting to the quarterback, which is just great. Everyone could just stop the run. Nobody has to pass rush. Just double the tackles and you're fine. But championship round again. Last time it was against the Cowboys. This time it's against the Saints. Another pretty good team, but I suppose by overall they are easier, if you will. They ended up with Stingley, which is a very possible thing. Of course, it's probably likely that the Vikings end up with him, but who knows? But I got to be honest, I don't know. This is a weird team. I can't tell if this team is good enough to win the Super Bowl, but we did just beat the Cowboys. So I just feel like anything's, on the table. 14-7 now. I was about to say 7-all. Up by 14. Ooh, interception, it looks like. Saints only going to get 3 out of it. And that touchdown is going to send Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers back to the Super Bowl in the first time in over a decade. Winston's still the quarterback. Rodgers threw another pick. This time didn't really play that much better than the next quarterback or his opposing quarterback. Run game was okay. Receiving, Josh English, the man, I guess. Lazard has been shockingly good in this one. Rashawn Gary with 2 sacks. Finally, some pressure. We were just talking about it. And Joey Sly with 2 missed field goals, which, you don't know. 23-28, maybe they would have not had to go for it as much. They felt like, hey, down 2 possessions, you got to go for it. But, I don't know. Things change. So, who knows? But every player matters. And I don't know what that upgrade was. It just disappeared. Sweet, dude. But Green Bay back in the Super Bowl. And they're going to be going up against the Bengals. Interesting. I was going to say kind of like I wouldn't say under the radar, because obviously the Packers are considered one of the better teams in the league, despite their chokes in the playoffs. And obviously the Bengals just made the Super Bowl in real life. But just 2 teams that are kind of like, okay, that's crazy that one of those teams is going to end up a Super Bowl champion, right? Specifically if it was the Bengals. But let's take a look at the dev-ups, which unfortunately does not include English. The wide receivers, 84 and 85 overall. It's some speed at Watson's spot, but not really that great, obviously. Defensively, Devondre at superstar. Might not mean a whole lot. He is an 85 overall. He's very good still, but, doesn't really matter as much. Stokes, no upgrade. Preston's still superstar. I got to be honest, the upgrades really don't do a whole lot for me. Stokes, I think, is just too late. Honestly, he's just... maybe he's an okay number 3 in the future, but as of right now, I think corner is one of our biggest needs to draft. But 83 overall against the 85 overall Bengals, who have Tyrann Mathieu. Talking about the draft, yet we're in the Super Bowl. Makes sense. All right, Cincy doesn't do anything with it. We get a touchdown out the gate, 7-3. 14-3, not bad. 21-3. Looking pretty good at halftime, 24-3. We've seen this before from Cincy, though, and there they go with their comeback. Here they come with that comeback, but it's not going to come soon enough. Unlike me, I'm too fast. The Packers are Super Bowl champions, and I can't be biased. I can't risk monetization loss because of the Packers, and I want to see the podium because I ain't going to see it in real life. When they say, like some Lions fans, like, it's our year, as, whatever fans, it's Jets fans, it's our year, and then someone's like, yeah, what are you playing, Madden? That's us now. Damn it. But of course, Joe Burrow and Rodgers, pretty similar performances. Rodgers just was a little bit more accurate. And Jones with Dylan with 3 rushing touchdowns. Lazard, 8 for 103. Lazard kind of clutching, though. I really did not expect. This is what I like in a rebuild. An unexpected situation. Just out of the blue, Alan Lazard goes from normal to X Factor year 1. What else can you ask for? So, we're broke. However, I do not know what we have to... Oh, my. I was about to say, I don't know what we have to pay or who we have to pay next season, but... There's some names. There's definitely some names. I'm worried. Stokes needs to be one of them. But some of these contracts may be cheaper in real life or in game here. Aaron Jones can't be more than 8, 9 per year. He's been decent, but Dylan's just as good. I think 8 or 9 per is fair. Clark probably about 17 per. David Bakhtiari about 22 per. We could actually save some money re-signing some old guys. The problem I have is that they're getting so old that they might not even be here, that long. But I suppose it's not really a big problem when you've just won the Super Bowl. All right, free agency. Trayvon Diggs. I can kind of see why the Cowboys wouldn't want to pay him if he's on the same trajectory of real life. In how many years down the line. But it's kind of hard to pay a guy like Trayvon just based on what we've seen in real life. But in-game, absolutely you would. There's no question about it. Orlando Brown. Some overalls here. There's some decent players, but once again, we're broke as hell, and even if we weren't broke as hell, oh my, did Devondre just drop a bunch? Didn't expect that. I thought the drops already happened. Okay, so cornerback, middle linebacker. I don't know what to do with Rodgers, because he just keeps playing really, really well. How old is he now? He's 40. Like, it's just like, I don't know if Rodgers has it in him to pull a Brady. But if he does, which he probably does, I kind of have to keep fixing him. I mean, you can't say I'm being biased because I've actually, I've done this for a lot of the quarterbacks that we've done rebuilds for that are, still kind of on that. They look like they could be elite for some time. It really helps for a guy to stay on top of his game when he has insane elite throw power out the gate, which obviously Rodgers does. So, I mean, if anyone could do it like Brady, it probably would be Rodgers. Probably a Mahomes as well, as long as he doesn't, take some wild injury because he sometimes extends the play a little too long and gets popped. But, yeah, I mean, I think at 42 is when we'll stop, unless, of course, he sucks. But 42 is when we'll stop, boosting him. Preston, we probably can get rid of, and I don't want to. But in real life, this is where you could get rid of him, and we are insanely broke. I don't know, dude. So how do I draft a new number 2 corner when they're all 5'9", 182? Is this like return specialists, not actually corners? The hell do I do with these sizes? 189 at 6'2", he's like literally a stick. What do I do with this? I mean, I pretty much have to put Gooden on there, even though he's tiny, because he's just like the only guy. Oh, 4'6". That's Rasul Douglas. Stokes has a 5th-year option, and sadly, no. We will not be doing this. All right, so we have pick 32, and I don't know if he's actually going to be there. I really don't want to skip. I have 2 players. I have a middle linebacker or a corner. I'm going to move to 27 and take whoever's there. Hopefully it's a corner, even though he's 5'9". 5'9" doesn't mean bad. It's just unrealistic, obviously. It's just so stupid when put a 5'9" corner on the boundary. Makes sense, right? But I'm just going to pretend that that's not the case because obviously EA just has some weird fetish with super small players. I don't know if this is even fair, but you know what? I've given out a lot of trades that are in the opposing favor. So if it, finally helps us for once, so be it, I suppose. Running back to the Cowboys in the first round. Interesting. And the corner is there. I scouted him extra. I scouted Ramsey extra, and I scouted the DT extra. And, they just kind of gave us an A-power move, which I'm still pretty interested in. Craig Ramsey's a middle linebacker that I'm interested in, obviously. Super fast, really good, BAB. Monroe's up there, too, though. He's a third-round player. He's a little bit less good. He's smaller, but B-zone coverage. But I think Gooden, I know just enough about him. He's very, pretty athletic with a plus, the first for 3-cone and 20-yard. He's got to be good. We're going to grab him. Jermaine Gooden, and he is hidden. Of course, you wish you could switch to speed in Excel, but in Madden, I don't know if that really matters. Unfortunately, he is tiny. All right, pick 32. Oh, wait, no, that wasn't. That was the guy they said, the prospect thing. The tight end is still there. I also scouted him longer, but it didn't give me more. I know he's fast. I know he's got an 8 catch in traffic. I know our tight end didn't really play that well, and more importantly, he is not hidden. I don't know if this guy is hidden, but I'd be willing to maybe try. The middle linebacker looks pretty good too. A catch in traffic, though, got us as one of the biggest needs, ironically enough. And also Monroe, biggest fits as well. What about the center? I was about to say, he definitely is a guy I want to grab, but I guess Rayshon Richardson, we're going to go for the tight end. And he's hidden. That is insane for a tight end because he could be superstar, and you just can't get that. Obviously, we do, we work around. We do what we do, but still, that's not technically realistic, if you will. So, just saying, it's kind of clutch. Do we want to trade? Why do I feel like we are owed a third-round pick? Maybe I'm just thinking of Jordan Love. We don't have any more Jordan Loves rolling around, do we? This is a bit of a steep trade, but I believe in the B zone, and I believe that this is pretty good value for this middle linebacker. I am a little worried that maybe I did overtrade a little bit, but I'm just hoping he's good. B zone coverage, hidden development trade. Okay. And fast, obviously. B play rec, B's awareness, A hit power, A power. I mean, it's just, he had it. And thankfully, it was also hidden. Now for the chance at a center, I doubt we're going to have it, but, you know, I can't trade up anymore. We might even trade this down for a potential 4th from a desperate team, perhaps, if we're lucky. Yeah, there's nobody here, so maybe a 4th from some desperate team, even if they're like, you know, Super Bowl caliber themselves. I don't know if this is good for us, but a 160 this, 189 next for 111 next, projected, of course. And we're going to draft a fullback at Mr. Irrelevant, Khalil Bryant. And I skipped right past the... Nice. All right, Marquise Monroe, hidden development trade, 71 overall. Let's take a look at the development trait. Potential superstar or better. And he is superstar. Well, that makes things interesting, doesn't it? Well, Davante is gone after the season no matter what. Richardson is a 73 overall. Fair enough. Now, this is the guy you want superstar or better. This is the guy, and he is not going to be the guy, unfortunately. What about Gooden? Ooh, 77 overall. Yeah, that's our new number 2. I don't care how short he is. I'm sorry, Stokes. Maybe you get the re-sign because you're young, but as far as starter goes, your job might be gone. Star, but hey, you know what? Still a good player. Still obviously a really good player, and I think that was it, actually. All right, so even though I do like the guy in real life, and I'm rooting for him, unfortunately, you could see the way our draft went, the way this is kind of going. It seems like Stokes is... I mean, he is built to probably be an okay, serviceable number 2, but going to be our number 3 with Gooden being drafted by us. And Douglas in real life would carry about a 11 mil cap hit. We probably took that hit the year before, or, you know, salary hit, whatever you want to call it. You know, on the books, obviously a cap hit, probably earlier rather than later, like would be in real life. And if we release him now, apparently we would save technically like 8 mil in real life. That's not the case here, but either way, same kind of situation. Sorry, Rasul, but hey, you helped us win a Super Bowl, and, you know, that'll be forever a part of your legacy, a part of our legacy, and we thank you very much. But once again, it's a business. Some guys, you know, some players don't understand that. Za'Darius Smith, I mean, hello. I didn't really follow that situation, but like, from what I've gathered, like, Za'Darius was throwing shade at the Packers and the fans or something like that because he didn't, like, he got released. I can't remember exactly what the situation was. Maybe I'm way off base. Maybe it was with another player. They were talking crap or something, but he does realize not only A, it was the right decision, B, kind of the only choice, and C, he played 1.5 games the whole year. Like, hello, freak injuries or not, I don't care, dude. It's not like, you know, it's not like he put up 15 sacks on the season and we were like, sorry, Davante's too important, see you later. You literally didn't play, dude. But anyways, here's the roster for year number 3. We obviously just came off of a Super Bowl win, trying to either go back-to-back or at least win another within the next 2 seasons. So this will be a 4-year rebuild maximum. We'll see what the minimum is, because maybe we win one back-to-back, but maximum of 4 years, as this team somehow got the job done. Once again, we're probably going to just say it was Rodgers, but Allen Lazard's a freak. He's a weirdo. I like him. I don't understand what's going on. Holy crap. I suppose when, we've probably seen his millions of times, but I only just now looked at his face. I suppose when you have to, you know, kind of take over for the load of, Davante Adams, that face, you know, starts to wear down a bit. It's, Treylon Burks might be the number 1, actually, because he is the highest overall, but all right, I mean, we have just enough playmakers. The ground game should still be good enough. We got a new tight end who's got more potential. I mean, it's not a good team, but it was enough before. Why can't it be again? Well, I mean, I don't know what I do. It's a good team, just definitely far from great. So, David Bakhtiari, a guy that was kind of mentioning, I want to retire, look at me. I think it said, you know, calling it quits. I ignore those because it's just so dumb. Like, yeah, it happens all the time in real life, but it's always happening in game. Like, it literally, you always get the superstar tackle that's in his 30s calling it quits early. It's every single time. It's like, it's not how it works in real life. Yeah, we have a couple that do that in real life here and there, but it's not how it works. Stokes, a 4-year deal. I mean, this is cheaper than Rasul, and honestly, Eric Stokes kind of deserves less money because, you know, we drafted him in the first round. He hasn't really performed that well for us, so he's taken that lesser deal. David Bakhtiari, 2-year 46, I think is totally fair for both sides. Aaron Jones, a guy that, I mean, I like him, but there's a chance in real life that he could get let go before the deal even ends. But, of course, that's not here. He's 29 years old, star development trade. I'm not a huge fan of the years, but he's been pretty damn good for us. He's going to be the continued starter on a pretty friendly deal again. So, yeah, I mean, don't know who else to re-sign. Josh Myers, I think you replace. Kicker, we'll see how he plays. And a couple of guys here that are just kind of backups. So we have actually a lot of money. Yeah, I think my man Zane's gone. He's playing like a trash can. 45%. This is a bit of a comeback on the season. Are we going to win? We lose the last game, and because of that, I believe we did lose the division. And by believe, I know for a fact, because we're the away team. Oh, back-to-back games. Yeah, really did a good job there holding on to the freaking division. Really iffy start, and then we turned it around, but Minnesota takes the cake, unfortunately. But still a good year. We'll take a look at how good of a year, You see 1-2, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3, 4-4, 5-4, 5-5, and you have a huge winning streak, but then you lose right at the end of the Saints. Just can't get over that team, I guess. But let's take a look at the stats, as we did see Rodgers in the top 3. And was that it? I believe so. But let's take a look at the rest. Rodgers with great yards, pretty damn good touchdowns, low interceptions, and once again, the ground game, a lot of touchdowns. Maybe Jones gets a superstar, be clutch. Treylon could go to X Factor. Some pretty good numbers for everyone, even the tight end. The Packers scheme's pretty good. And honestly, for the Packers scheme, that's pretty good for the tight end, actually. Rashawn Gary of 15 sacks, 9 for Clark, and I believe that's going to be the last season for Preston. Still have a chance, though, for, what's his name? Drake Jackson to still be a decent player. Kind of pulling I wouldn't say a Rashawn Gary, but, I mean, kind of, right? I suppose, because at the end of the day, Rashawn was kind of a rotational guy outside of injuries, which we've seen. But, yeah, I mean, he's still got a little bit of time, so we'll see if he plays well. He can get a contract to be a hell of a freaking, I mean, that would just be lucky. Unless you're obviously a great player and you're going to be a great player. But if you're kind of like an iffy player, it's kind of clutch to not have to play until your last year, get paid because of one season performance, even if it's lucky, perhaps. I wouldn't say, not lucky, but, you show just enough. They're like, screw it, we're desperate. But let's go up against these Cardinals. Once again, Rodgers had a pretty damn good year, so, if he regresses really hard, we could fix him. But we'll see. I mean, he's in his 40s. All right, going to the end of the game. I just say left to, I was going to say left to right, that looks like them. 14-7, not liking that at all. Defense is doing okay. We get a touchdown. We get the lead. Halftime, we're up 7. Offense kind of chokes a little bit there. Down by 3 now. Defense is getting beat. Offense is getting chances. They're just not doing anything with it. And they do there. 3 minutes left for Arizona to try and make a comeback. Some pretty legendary matchups between these two. And with 10 seconds left, this is a close call. From the 17, 10 seconds left, I guess I'll go with Winfrey because he's technically the worst player. Don't think he really even has much pass rush ability. We're getting locked up. We do get a little bit of pressure. Out of bounds. But a hell of an attempt to get back over there and knock it out anyways. Is this going to end the game? I mean, I guess you accept it, but let's take a look at this. That was a close call. Who was in coverage here? Because they kind of sold. So it was the rookie in coverage against they kind of got confused. That's Savage's job, really. We were there. I mean, who's even at fault here? I mean, you kind of feel like we were the ones that touch it first. But I think a defender can, actually, can't they? Or is it just... I don't know, because that usually doesn't happen, right? Oh, I must just skip. I suppose you just go back to cover 3? I mean, you want to get enough pressure, especially from the 17. Kyler has the speed if he gets a look to potentially just run it in. And that's a lot of belief in your running back, but Green Bay's still going to keep the dream alive and move on to the divisional round. Take a look at those numbers. Rodgers and Murray, very similar. Obviously, Rodgers with a lot less yards, though. Ground game was a bit better for Green Bay as well. Jones did well. Rondale Moore. I mean, Green Bay is not the fastest team in the world. I know they got a little bit of speed at corner now, but got burned there. Of course, Preston pretty damn good. Drake Jackson with a pick. Gonzalez with a miss. Man, he's going to lose us the playoffs, dude. We're going to lose a game because of him. And by a game, I mean like the game, because it's the playoffs. You get multiple tries, obviously. The Buccaneers, a 9-8 Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that probably doesn't have Brady, right? I imagine at this point he's probably like 84 overall or less. But maybe one of the real-life... Did they get Pickett? I can't remember. They got one of the real-life quarterbacks, I thought, but let's find out what happens. Looked like the Chiefs moved on. It was the Chiefs, right? I don't know. I'm kind of just glancing. 7 points to start her out. Not bad. Defense is kind of giving up some long drives. They haven't given up a touchdown or anything, but still, it's a lot of long drives. 3 points. They are now down by 14. Like I said, though, defense is bending but not breaking. A staple of Green Bay for so long. And the defense forces an interception. The offense has got to do better, but the defense did its job, and they went with a Howell who threw 2 picks. Rodgers is very tame in that game, but once again, the defense was able to kind of control it, and ultimately, it was enough to win the game. Of course, pressure wasn't super great. Barnes and Stokes with picks each. Gonzalez didn't miss a kick. Wow, that's shocker. That's shocker. Yep. That is shocker. Oh, man, it's Aaron Jones. The little bowling ball. Not bad with the power. And speaking of power, let's go with Mr. A.J. Dillon, who is now 85 overall. Let's see what he gets. 4 upgrade points. Damn, that sucks. I'd be so disappointed, especially with like 13K missing, not really getting many upgrade points in general because he's the backup. Had a chance to get to 90-plus strength, and they're like, nah, here's a bunch of crap. It's like, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Really helps us out. But the championship round, actual chance to go back-to-back with the Packers, which isn't super common in Sim. Maybe even haven't seen it all year, perhaps. But Packers versus the Eagles, I mean, if it was ever going to happen with this team, I'm sorry, Eagles, but you're kind of the team. This is going to be the one we lose. You just know it. 9-0 already. All right. Missed extra point. Got to love it, Zane. Remember when I said he's going to miss? He's going to lose us a game? I mean, it's not looking great for him. Huge drive before half. 19-12. Very interesting scoreline. 26-15. 26-15 still. And defense clutches up. I mean, it was a wild one early. Philly kind of got some of the things they needed to get if they were going to win the game. A safety, some turnovers, it seemed. No turnovers from Rodgers. Maybe some fumbles, though. But, yeah, I mean, a run game was just awful. Rodgers is like, all right, I do get paid quite a bit. You guys are right. I do need to participate, and he did. Looking at the edge, though, Preston is having himself a playoffs. I'll tell you, he's doing it. Strickland, I don't even think he's backup. Gooden, the rookie. I actually didn't look at Zane. I'm pretty sure it was just an extra point, which is pretty extra point and a field goal. Of course, one of them was blocked, probably the field goal, but still, dude, special teams in Green Bay needs to stop. Who else but the Chiefs? Last time it was the Bengals. This time it is the Chiefs. DevUps, Aaron Jones, how are you? Please, thank you. No. But Treylon Burks does get to X Factor, which was a little bit of a 50-50 one. His short route running was kind of bad, which I know the Green Bay Packers... Well, the thing is, Rodgers doesn't like to go short, but the Packers are kind of a short passing team now. Really, the opposite of what you're expecting him to do and what you want him to do, but fair enough. Of course, Alan Lazard, also a deep threat receiver who's not even fast, so that's really weird, but okay, maybe a defensive upgrade in Dev... Don't think so, right? Now, Kenny Clark got one, which is actually pretty damn clutch. Didn't really get that many dev-ups in general, but that is one that matters a lot. A guy that's just hitting that regression age, and he gets the X Factor, clutching up hard. The Chiefs, 88 overall. They have a good offense. The Packers, 87 overall. They have a good defense. I don't like our chances. That's all I can tell you. I don't know who they would have gotten to get that offense fixed-ish. But, it's not Tyreek unless they brought him back in. All right, can that Packers defense carry once again? Not a bad start, 7-7. Ooh, huge drive, just no points, though. Huge drive, no points again for them this time, though. 10-7, another drive with some sort of turnover. Both quarterbacks seem like they're turning the ball over at a high rate. We're up 9. That is gone. Up 9 again. And with 18 seconds left... the clock's kind of drained. Oh, we have the ball. I was about to say I want to watch it, but I feel like they're just going to go for Hail Marys. Never mind. And the Packers win back-to-back Super Bowls. I don't know what to tell you, dude. This Packers team went off. Of course, both quarterbacks, like I said, threw interceptions. Mahomes has a little bit more room to make excuses because of course, his competition. He's played against a tougher defense. Obviously, we're tougher than theirs. But running, pretty modest numbers both sides. Russell Gage, of all players, to do really well. And we had a couple of names in here, but Marquez Valdes-Scantling, unfortunately, does not get to win a ring with us. I mean, just a weird little game. I mean, we threw a pick to Malik Reed. They threw a pick to Devondre. I mean, he's not a bad player, and he is kind of, actually good at what he does, but it's kind of old now. It's kind of slow. It's a little surprising, but I guess that's the Packers rebuild. We've having some really quick rebuilds lately, which, I mean, I don't mind. Of course, these are teams that are playoff teams, playoff-ready teams that have a very good chance to win it all without any help, so it's not like the craziest thing of all time, but, this is how things went down. The Texans were in the postseason. Interesting. Denver, fair enough. And, after that first week, kind of nothing surprising other than maybe Philly in the championship. But there you have it. Let's take a look at some of these guys, though. I mean, Drake Jackson never got a chance to start. I mean, it's not the worst call in the world. Once again, I did set him up to be a backup. And like I said, with Green Bay's recent track record of injuries at, edge, not the worst thing to have a capable, rotational guy. Of course, we looked at Treylon. We already looked at Alan Lazard. Let's take a look at a Christian Watson. Never really got a chance to develop. But, I mean, I'd imagine you could still find him some time to play, right? Like, he had some pretty good seasons. He just wasn't the guy. He wasn't the starter. Rayshon Richardson developed pretty quickly, actually. O-line, Kinner, I guess we'll take a look at 84 overall, rookie. What else do we have? Josh Myers really never developed. 80 overall. But, I mean, even then, you probably should have went with Creed, but 80 overall center is really all Green Bay needs, right? You just needed a capable guy. Anyone else? I guess Rashawn Gary, kind of guy that, looks to be one of the future top-tier pass rushers of the league, but, I mean, it's a little early, so it's nice to see, kind of where he is. Jair is a future god at the cornerback position, already is kind of, just needs to stay healthy. Savage, let's take a quick look at him. 87 overall. I mean, pretty damn good. Obviously, blazing fast. 95 speed. Holy crap. And then we'll take a look at Kenny Clark real quick. 29 years old with insane block shed ability. Really strong. I mean, 99 strength. And then okay power move. But, kind of just a smart player that can eat up the inside. And that's, I mean, pretty much it, really. If you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Tons of franchise stuff. I mean, we do so much franchise. Yeah, I mean, franchise. Yep, I said it. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, and then second channel, PK Plays, which is, non-Madden stuff, which I try to upload once or twice a week. It's not the easiest thing, but, go check it out. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video, but until next video, see ya!